Hey folks, Ben from Snowy's here today with the OZtrail 3D Fatmat Lite.
Get it.
This is OZtrail's version of the 10 centimeter thick self-inflating camp mattress, the perfect upgrade for your swag or your tent. So this is how the Fatmat Lite comes when you buy it. It's been rolled like this in the factory, so it doesn't quite get this small again, but it measures about 70 centimeters in length, and this bag is about 25 centimeters in diameter, and overall weighs around about 2.7 kilograms. Included with the mat, you get obviously the storage sack that I just showed you with carry handles on it that go all the way around the base of the mat here. So it's they're not just stitched in at the top, so the weight is distributed all the way around the mat, and that's just got a pull string closure on the end there. We'll pack it up later and show you how easy that is. A couple of straps just to hold it in place once you've got it rolled up, and a little repair kit here with some glue and a few patches of fabric. Once you've got the mat inflated, now I've got this sitting in front of me here and I've blown a bit of air in it to make it sort of firm. But it measures a little bit different than what OZtrail specify, about 200 centimeters in length and about 70 centimeters in width on the top, but it does bow out a little bit on the sides there. This has got a bit of extra pressure in it at the moment, and 10 centimeters of thickness there, so offers a good amount of comfort. Now, it's made on top of what they call a stretch 30 denier pongee fabric. It's got quite almost a velour feel to it, and a bit of a pattern in there for a little bit of style. And on the base is a 75 denier, slightly heavier duty. They call it a non-slip base, I'm not sure why, but it is a durable base, and there's no rubbery feel or anything on it. And inside of that is a cord foam. What that means is that along the sides here, there's holes drilled right along the length of this foam here, which allows it to pack up a little bit smaller, but it still offers a good amount of support and comfort as well as insulation. And that foam is bonded to the exterior here, which means you can blow it up quite firmly like it is here, and this isn't going to expand out, but it does mean you can't put too much pressure in it, so don't go and use your air compressor to blow it up. Now, they haven't specified an R value for the mat, but most mats of this style, of this 10 centimeter thick mat, are around about sort of an R value of 8 to 9, which means it's going to has a good thermal resistance in both hot and cold ground underneath, so it's an all-weather mattress. Now, the inflation and deflation of these mats is all done through this valve on the end here. Now, I've pumped a bit of extra air in this at the moment just to puff it up for this video. If you do that, don't use like an air compressor, just use a 12-volt pump or a hand pump, or your mouth, preferably not your mouth because of the moisture that goes in it, because you don't want to damage the mat by putting too much air. You'll end up tearing the bonding between the outer fabric and the foam inside. Now, this has got a screw cap on it. If I undo that, this valve is in the inflate mode at the moment. So that little yellow bit that you can see in there is a little rubber flap that's stopping the air coming out, but is allowing air to go in. If I spin this around now, you can see that's letting all the air out that I'd pumped into the mat. And if I spin that all the way around, it then goes into a deflate mode, which we'll show you more on shortly, but that allows the air to come out but not get sucked back in. The foam in here, if you unroll it with this in inflate mode, will pull the air in naturally by itself, and you don't want that to be happening when you're trying to pack the mat up. I'm going to put the cap back on that, and I'm going to sit on it to sort of try and describe to you how comfortable this feels without any extra air in it. So that's just the mat puffed up without me putting extra pressure into it. So I can certainly put more in there and make it as firm as I want. So if I sit on this now, as I would expect, I'm going through to the bottom there now. I can feel foam, like I'm sitting on a layer of foam, so I'm not sitting hard on the ground, but I can certainly go right through. So if I wanted this to be comfortable sitting on it like this, I'd need to put more air into it. But if I lay down and distribute my weight evenly across the mat, even though I haven't put extra air in this, I've supposedly just allowed the foam to expand naturally by itself and then done the cap up on the end, it actually feels really comfortable. I'm not going through to the bottom. I can feel myself sinking down into the mat, in sort of the pressure points. And I can sleep quite comfortably here at the moment. Quite often people put a lot of extra air in these and it becomes uncomfortable to sleep on. For a side sleeper with less air in the mat, I can just feel my shoulder probably starting to sort of bottom out a little bit, but it's not hard on the ground. It's just the foam compressed under my shoulder, but it does allow that depth of my shoulder to dip down into the mat. If I had a pillow here, I'd feel pretty comfortable. If this was pumped up firmly, my shoulder would be much higher on the mat and uncomfortable. So plenty of room for adjustment with a 10 centimeter mat here. Probably the best way around it is to pump extra air into it, lay on it, and then you can just use something slightly, not too sharp, but in this valve here, once it's done up, or once it's puffed up, sorry, you can blow air in there, make it really firm, and then just push on the yellow bit in there and let air out a little bit at a time, just until it reaches your comfort level. So that's probably the best way to manage it. Now, setup and pack up of these mats is really easy. Setup in particular, you just undo that valve and let the foam expand. Use the 12-volt pump or hand pump, as I mentioned, to put extra air in it, and then adjust the pressure with that little valve on the end. Pack up's also really easy. I'm not going to show you this today. We've got a video that we've created specifically on how to do that. It's the same for most self-inflating mats, so we'll refer to that in the description below, so check that out if you're wondering how to pack these mats up. But that is the OZtrail 3D Fatmat Lite. A great mat, a great upgrade for your swag mattress. You're going to give you extra thickness, easier to pack up. Also just really comfortable on the floor of your tent or even on top of a stretcher. You can check them out online at snowies.com.au, where you find them at our lowest prices every day. If you've got any questions, let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel for all of our latest and greatest information. Or check out some other cool OZtrail products like these ones down here.